no memes in general, chat. Amen to that one. We only post Bible verses here. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies, episode 27, I believe. 27. Wait. Yes, 27. I doubt myself. I have to stop doing that. I'm always right, like 60% of the time. Anyway, last episode was a heavy one. Heavy not in terms of pounds, stones, or kilograms. Heavy in terms of emotions and feelings and other stuff that's heavy and not physical. So, what happened last time? You may be asking yourself. You should go back and watch, because I don't know why you'd be watching this. If you need a refresher, go back and watch that one. Anyway, Yuri cuts herself and her parents are dead. Let's get on with the episode. And we slept together. Not in that way though. Just slept next to each other. Okay, rambling done, intro done. It only took me like 18 minutes. Let's begin. As I'm slowly roused back into consciousness, I let out a long yawn, watching the faint streams of sunlight permeate my room. I'm still feeling a little drowsy, so I should just... Wait, why does my chest feel so warm? As my eyes take in the sight in front of me, the memories from last night come flooding back. The cuts, the fear on her face, the plea to stay with me overnight. One of her sleeves has pushed up slightly, affording me a sight I'd rather I didn't have access to. Seeing such marks on Yuri's pale arm, some of which still look fairly new. I wince, as though it's my own flesh which bears the scars. Why? How? So many questions. A small sound from Yuri pulls me away from the flurry of thoughts in my head. It sounds like a content sigh. If I look closely, I can make out a small smile on her face as she clings to me a little harder. A wave of happiness courses through me, which, having seen her scars again, feels a little foreign. Still, it feels incredible to have someone you love cuddle up against you in their sleep. I bet it does feel incredible. Wouldn't know. Something about the physical closeness during such an intimate moment. Again, I wouldn't know. I reach out and gently stroke the top of her head. Oh my god, I want that more than anything. She smells faintly of lavender, her hair soft and silken. It's a given that someone like Yuri takes care of herself, I suppose, with no parents around. Is that when she started? No. I don't want this moment ruined by anything. We can talk about all that stuff later. I just want to see her happy, so for now, I just focus on the smell and softness of her hair, along with the feel of her head on my chest. I don't know how long we stayed in that peaceful embrace, but eventually, Yuri stirs, offering me a smile as she rises from my chest. Rubbing her eyes as she slowly sits up, she lets out a small yawn. Markapisu grabs his cup of water. It's actually not a cup, it's a thermos, a small thermos. Ooh, needed that. It's a hot one out here, boys. Okay, there's silence for a moment. You were up before I was? Yeah, hard to believe, right? Don't worry, I find it just as hard to believe as you do. My attempt at humor is weak. Yuri laughs as well, but it's easy to tell that it's a little forced. There's no denying the tension. The elephant in the room may have been averted while we were sleeping, but there's no escape now. So, Yuri, I was wondering... She abruptly gets out of bed and heads for the door. Without a glance back in my direction, she speaks. Her assertive tone surprises me. Let's make breakfast, Markapi. But... Please? She turns to face me, and while she isn't making eye contact, I can read the message on her face. Not yet. Warily, I climb out of bed and follow her down the hallway, wondering how the rest of the day will go. To say that breakfast wasn't a comfortable affair would be quite the understatement. Yuri wasn't making eye contact and even stopped frequently to ensure her sleeves were completely covering her wrist. Every time she picked up a knife to cut some food, I couldn't help but wince. My mind was doing me no favors. Has she cut herself with a knife? Last night, she used a razor blade. Does she have a stash of them at home? Or is her cutting habit related to her knife collecting hobby? The tension has grown tenfold since she woke up. I'm desperately trying to think of a way to break the uneasy silence, but I can't come up with anything. Diplomacy can only get me so far. How am I meant to even approach the topic? I've never had a friend who's self-harmed before. I stare into the last remaining crumbs of my meal. Eating in silence has proven to be unbelievably awkward. Desperate for something to do, I stand up and head for the sink. At least the prospect of washing up my plate gives me something to focus on. As I stand by the sink, Yuri's voice pierces the silence. I'm really sorry. For what? She gestures around her. For this. For everything. I dump the unwashed plate in the sink and walk over to her. She's staring forlornly at the ground. What is... I feel like I've seen that before. Like, I've just never seen it spelled, I guess, maybe. Forlornly? I feel like that's a word. I've seen that, right? Yeah, probably. You don't have to apologize for anything. Seriously. Am I the only person who knows? Yes. Then, well, sorry if I sound so presumptuous, but, well, I imagine it must be pretty hard, right? Very much so. It's a little overwhelming. I take one of her hands in mine. She's shaking. It's okay, Yuri. It's okay. Just take your time. There's no rush. She nods. I imagine you probably have a few questions you want to ask. There's no point trying to beat around the bush here. Yeah, there are. I wince at how direct that sounds. Then again, I am really curious, so I can't exactly win either way, can I? She takes a deep breath. What would you like to know? Oh boy, where do I even oh boy, where do I even begin? How long has she been an orphan for? When did she start cutting? There are so many choices. It's probably best to start with an understanding of her self-harm, though. Well, why do you do it? She closes her eyes and slowly lets that breath out through her nose. She's still closing her eyes as she talks. It's a way of coping. Huh? It's how I deal with the sadness and self-loathing within. Self-loathing? People have never liked me, Markapi. All throughout my life, I've never been accepted. People never understood me, nor did they ever take the time to try to. I've never been particularly sociable. As you can see, I much prefer to keep to myself. Now that alone wouldn't be too bad. Some people misread the introversion, but combined with my fascination with horror and knife collecting hobby, these things combined tend to make people see me as creepy, a freak, an outcast. That quiet girl in the back who doesn't speak much, the girl who's fascinated by the... What the fuck? Macabre. I don't know that. I don't know what that is, but we'll just roll with it. It's no wonder they judge me. Anyway, so that's why. She takes a few deep, shaky breaths in an attempt to calm herself down. I didn't realize how difficult this must be for you to talk about. I'm so sorry. The angry look on her face startles me.
No. Don't you ever apologize for my own shortcomings, Markapi. I deserve to be weak.
But you don't. Why would you even think that?
Because, like I said, I was always judged for who I was. Initially, I thought it was everyone else who was wrong.
She laughs bitterly.
Oh, such arrogance. No, it wasn't them who were wrong. It was me.
But
if it were just the one person who judged me in such a way, well, I would be inclined to believe the problem lied in them. But it wasn't just one person. It was everyone. There gets to a point when you finally realize that it's not them who are the problem. It's you. It was bad, but I could deal with it because I at least had my parents to help me.
Given I'm the first person who knows of her self-harm, does that mean... As if by reading my mind, Yuri answers that very question.
No, not even my parents knew. And that's when it began. I hated keeping my self-harm from them. I didn't want them to know. It scared me enough as it was, and I couldn't imagine how much it would scare them. I was terrified when I first tried it. I remember the day it started. Some other students mocked me relentlessly because I stuttered during a class reading. I always used to dread reading aloud. And I remember, at lunchtime, I locked myself in one of the bathroom stalls. I didn't mean to cut myself. I just wanted to admire one of my knives. Despite it being a constant reminder of what's wrong with me, just holding something so dear to me was comforting. I gripped it too hard, and that's when I discovered it. The rush that felt like the perfect release. It was tangible, but it was also terrifying. It felt so good having that physical release.
Not to kill the mood, but I haven't had a physical release in a very long time. I'm just going to take a sip of water here as a little break. All right.
But I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I had done. I felt like such a freak.
I don't know what to say. Words are beyond me at this point. How am I even meant to reply to what I'm hearing?
My parents were the only people who ever accepted me for who I was. Even though they didn't know about the self-harm, they never judged me for my taste in literature, nor did they question my interest in knives. While school was a torment, I sought solace in knowing that no matter how bad it could get, I was safe at home.
Fresh tears start to trickle down her face once more.
Until they died. And just like that, I had lost them. The only support I ever had.
I reach out to brush away Yuri's tears. She doesn't move, or do anything else to acknowledge that I'm even there. Throughout her heart-wrenching explanation, Yuri had been trying to maintain control over her voice and face. The stuttering and pained expressions that occasionally flickered over her features showed all I needed to know. As I scoop her into my arms, the dam that she's been trying so hard to contain finally burst. She sobs unrestrainedly into my chest as her anguished cries fill the room.
I miss them so much, Markapi.
My vision is blurry as she drenches the front of my shirt. I can physically feel her cries on my chest, right next to my heart.
I want to see them again. I want to stop pretending that the person I'm in the arms of right now is my dad.
That's actually, that makes our relationship seem a little weird. Ain't gonna lie. Unless you're into that. Okay, back to the crying. There isn't anything I'd give to hear them ask me how my day was, even if it was awful. Anything at all. Please. Alright, my brain is in a frenzy. Say something, Markapi. Yuri, it's going to be okay. You're not alone anymore. I'm here. I'm with you. And I'm never going to leave you. I promise. She looks up with big, wet purple eyes. You really mean that? Because I don't know what I'd do if I lost you as well, Markapi. Of course I mean it. I swear on it. You're my girlfriend and I love you. Even after everything I've just told you? She gestures miserably to her wrist. Even with these? The venomous disdain in her voice is frightening to hear. I wasn't even sure she was capable of such scorn, negativity. I love you for who you are, Yuri. Which includes everything you hate about yourself. Scars or not, you're my girlfriend, and nothing is going to change that. Oh, Markapi. A strange look. Oh, God. Is this the bad ending? No, they can't be. We just started Act 3 like a few episodes ago. Unless it's a short act. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. A strange look comes over her face while her breathing grows ragged and fast-paced. I'm fucking scared. Yuri? Are you okay? What was that? What the fuck was that? Sorry, I just... This is just so much to take in. Oh, God. Her hand suddenly darts to her wrist, and in that instant, I suddenly realize the situation we're in. What situation are we in? I don't understand. Did I miss something? Yuri, stay with me. Please. I can't. Yes, you can. Focus on my voice. Look at me. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my absolute best not to descend into an utter state of panic. For both of our sakes, I can't let her start cutting again. She's tentatively scratching at the flesh on her wrist. It starts off slow, but quickly grows in frequency and intensity. In desperation, I reach for her hand. Yuri, just talk to me. Say something, anything. What's going on in your mind? I'm not sure if asking her to describe the urge is going to help. It could actually be harmful. But I'm finding it hard to think straight, and the tiny voice of reason in my head is telling me that distracting her and forcing her to talk to me is the right thing to do. Alright, I'm not going to make any jokes. I need a release. Whenever I feel like this, She tries to wrench her hand free from my grip, but there's no way she's getting free. I tilt her head up so that she has to make eye contact with me. My body needs the pain. I need the control. The cutting, it helps me make sense of everything. Sense of everything? She swallows and her eyes focus on mine. The physical pain is something tangible that I can actually feel, something that I can make sense of. When I feel emotionally overwhelmed, I feel so powerless. The cutting helps me regain that control that I desperately need. It sounds I know it sounds crazy, but it helps me feel alive. When I'm so mentally overwhelmed, the numbness, it's without mercy. So I need something to focus on, and that's exactly what the pain served as. But why did you have to use a blade? Can't you just, pinch yourself or scratch? You have no idea what the urge is like, Markapi. My whole body screams for that release. Scratching or pinching it would never satisfy that urge. Yuri's breathing slowly grows more regular. She's no longer trying to wrench her hand free from my grasp, so I tentatively let her go, although I remain closer, anticipating another attempt.
I've never been in a position where I have the urge to cut when I'm around someone else.
Do you still feel the need to cut?
Yes, but it's a lot more manageable now. I think I'll be okay.
My God, am I relieved to hear that. I had no idea how to deal with this.
I told you I was a freak.
You're not a freak. You've just been through a lot, and cutting happens to be how you deal with the trauma.
It's hardly a healthy coping.
God damn it. Water break, then we'll be right back. You know, if you stutter more than 2 times, you gotta take a water break and come back. That's always been my motto, and it's going to continue to be my motto. Let's try this one more time.
It's hardly a healthy coping mechanism, though, is it?
Well,
No, it isn't. That doesn't even need to be said.
okay. So yeah, it isn't a healthy way to cope at all, but either way, I'm just glad you told me.
Why are you glad, Markapi? And more importantly, how can you not think I'm a freak?
I don't. No. I don't know why, but I don't see this as freakish behavior at all. It makes me sad, sure, but it doesn't creep me out. Plus, I like to think I have an open mind, you know? Yuri smiles ruefully at my words.
You remind me a little of my father.
Okay, alright, no, stop it. I know what you're thinking. Stop it right now. It's time to stop. That was enough.
He was the one who introduced me to knives, back when I was just a little girl.
Okay, that's kind of weird. As eager as I was to learn about her self-harm, I'm grateful that this is an opportunity to discuss something else. The incident just now was just staggering. What were your parents like? I'm thinking about stopping it here. I don't know, this it feels like a lot, you know? Do I dare? Yeah, I think I'm gonna dare. Okay, I dare to stop the episode now. I have the courage to do so. And if you don't like it, well, you better come over here and do something about it. Just kiss me into submission. That's right. I threw down the gauntlet. Go ahead. No, do it. No, come to Montana. No, seriously. Email me, markapisu@gmail.com, .net, .org, .gov, and I will fly you out here and you can kiss me into submission. Okay, do me 4 favors. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, help me find a girlfriend, and bye-bye.